Hi everyone and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So on today's video we are going to be doing another console repair video, and today's console, you would have seen from the thumbnail, is going to be a Nintendo DS Lite. This is a silver DS. Actually it's not mine. I am actually fixing it for someone that we know on the channel. So a big shout out to Nikki. So we have been Nikki has been absolutely amazing for the channel. He gives me absolutely amazing deals on things. And to be quite honest, some of the stuff he finds, I'm like, are you mugging old ladies to get them? You'll see over the next few months, we've got some hunt videos where we pick up some stuff from Nikki, and it is out of this world pickups. So yeah, absolutely massive thank you to Nikki for everything he does for the channel. But he sent me a message the other day asking me if I was able to have a look at this Nintendo DS that he bought. So he says that it doesn't power on. The charge light comes on, but it doesn't do anything else. So I was like, yeah, we'll give it a go. We'll make a video out of it and we'll see how we get on. So yeah, overall, the actual DS itself is amazing. It is in such good condition. It's got a couple of screen protectors on the actual screens, but yeah, the case itself is literally, I've never seen a DS in such good condition. So yeah, really looking forward to getting in and seeing what's going on with this. So what we'll do is we'll jump over to the desk, and then yeah, we will get testing and see what we can find out. Okay, so here we are, we're all set up on the desk, and as I said, the quality of this DS is absolutely immense. Does include a game, Art Academy. I think we've got that actually in the collection, but I've never played it. So yeah, as I say, it does have a couple of screen protectors on, so it has been really well looked after. I think he also gave me the power supply as well. So let's get that plugged in, and then what we'll do is, not that I think that Nikki's lying, but not to say that I believe him either. So we plug this in. Does it if I turn it on? So there we go. We've got the red charging light. So if I now try and turn it on, yeah, absolutely nothing. So yeah, could be a variety of things. Could just be that the power switch needs cleaning. Yeah, there's a million and one different reasons that could happen. So let's turn that off. I'm just going to leave the power lead up there for the minute. Yeah, could also be that the battery needs replacing. So I think I have got a spare battery that I can swap into it. So we'll move the game off to the side, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to zoom in for this one, because obviously we're doing something a lot smaller. So with the DS's, you've got a Phillips screw over the battery compartment, and then you've got I think it's 6. So you've got another 2 under here, and then there's 2 under the battery as well, if I remember rightly. They are all tri-wing screws. So yeah, you just need to be aware. Nintendo love their tri-wing screws when you're actually trying to get into the console, but then once you get in, it will be Phillips screws again. So what we'll do is we'll just take the battery out. We'll check that first. Hopefully it's not expanded. No, that battery looks quite good actually. There we go. Oh, but that doesn't. So you see the whiteness on this battery? That doesn't look good at all. Okay, right. I'll put that off to the side then, and then switch my screwdriver over to the tri-wing. So we've got 6 screws to get out, so I'm just going to go through and get those out now. Okay, so that is all the screws out, and it was completely different from what I've said. So we had tri-wing screws in these 3 holes, and then just under the battery there was 2 Phillips, and then in the top part here there was 2 Phillips. Yeah, my bad. I thought that they were all tri-wing screws to actually get into the console. So I'm just going to remove the cap and the stylus. So let's just now, should just lift straight off. No, because I have forgotten the tri-wing just up the top there. There we go. Oh, that's okay. So I think we can see straight away what the issue is going to be. So I'm going to move that off, and I will put that back on later. Yeah, so let me zoom in a bit. So we have got some heavy corrosion on this bit here. Yeah, I think all of the... I don't know, I can never tell with these ones whether that's been tripped or not. But what we'll do, first port of call, let's try and clean all this up. See if that makes any difference as it goes. What's interesting to me is it's the other side of the board from the power switch. I suppose, but it's the same side as the battery, so... Okay, let's get all this cleaned up first. And then we'll take it from there. Okay, so now I've got that cleaned up, I'm just going to have a look under my little eyepiece just to have a quick look at the board, because obviously at the moment I still don't have a microscope, which is something I'm trying to sort of get the money together to get. Yeah, I'm just a bit worried about this little chip just here. Let me try a more focused approach with that one. Yeah, I've got a feeling that that chip there is completely gone. So yeah, what we'll do is for now, I'm going to just clean the back of this up. Actually, just get rid of all the corrosion that we can see. And then what we'll do is we'll put it back together and we'll give it a bit of a test. See if cleaning that off has made any difference. I'm not going to screw it all back together. I'm not going to put that button back on yet. Because the main thing I want to do is just see with the battery in. Oh, so... Right, so just clean that battery up. Other than that bit there, it doesn't look like there's any issues with it. So try turning it on. No, nothing. So let's try plugging it in again. So forget the... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out a bit. Right, I'm going to go and grab the spare battery that I've got, and we'll try that in there, see if that makes a difference, see if the battery's actually gone. Okay, so let's try that. So I'm pretty sure that this battery is good. Okay, so yeah, that's not doing anything. So what I think we'll do is if we unplug that, first port of call is I want to test that battery. I want to make sure that the battery's okay. And then what we'll do is we'll start potentially looking to swap some bits out. I've got a couple of DS's where the screens have gone. So worst case scenario, we could always switch the boards over. But yeah, let's put that one off to the side for a minute. I'm going to go and grab one of my other DS's, and then yeah, we'll start just testing things like the batteries, and then yeah, I might look to just swap one of the boards out. So here's the other DS that we've got. It's one of the black ones. It's not in great condition. If I remember rightly, let's plug it in. So yeah, we've got major damage to the screen there. So bottom screen's good, but yeah, the top screen's completely gone. So let's turn that off. So we know that that battery works. So that's a good start. So what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to pull the battery out. And then we'll, as I say, we'll test this battery, because I want to make sure that this battery works. Alright, so you put the good one of them over there, so I know that that's completely working. And we'll give this one a test, because as I say, where we had that bit of corrosion on the end of it, I just want to make sure that that's not... Yep, so we know that the battery's working. Yeah, so if I pull that out, yeah, there we go. So more than happy that that battery's working, so that's good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the screws undone in this one, and then just do a bit of comparison between this board and the other. What I will say is, looking at the water indicators on this, you can see there. So that one has got the white circles, whereas if we look at that one, it's all pink. So that signifies that that has come in contact with water, which yeah, does match up with the condition. But yeah, so I'm going to go and get this top cover off, and then yeah, we'll start doing a bit of a comparison. Okay, so we can see, let me zoom in a bit. So straight off the bat, we can see the difference in the condition of that chip. So if I then bring this one back in, so you see there, it is completely gone. I will say, if I had a microscope, I would probably try and sort of lift that off. But yeah, just doing it with the camera, it is just going to be too difficult. But looking at the boards, they are the same revision. So this is the USG CPU 1, and this is a USG CPU 1 as well. So yeah, just looking at it, it's all... Give that a bit of a brush out. So yeah, what we'll do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking this board out. So to start with, let's get these buttons off. What I will do is we will keep this other board. Let me zoom out a bit again. So yeah, my plan is we will keep the board, and then what we'll do is later on, once I've got the equipment, I will look to swap that out and see if we can actually get this board working. But yeah, so actually looking at this, if you look at that, that's got a slight bit of pink on where it should be white. So I think that even that side of the board has seen sort of liquid. So what we have to do, so first port of call, we'll get the Wi-Fi antenna removed. I will admit, the only thing that gets me with the DSs is they actually feed one of the cables for the Wi-Fi under the cartridge port. I'm going to leave the actual Wi-Fi on because we'll just sort of transfer that over to the other DS. So there's that, and then I think it's just the one screw holding this in. But obviously we do need to be careful because there are ribbon cables for the screens. I think they're on the other side of the board. So let's see if I can feed this back through. As I say, it is a right nightmare to try and do. See, for now, let's just see if we can get everything else. So we've got, so there's a ribbon cable at the top here that we need to remove. There we go, that's the first one. There we go. So we've got the bottom screen to sort of fall out. Okay, so next up, I want to remove let's use one nail actually, it's big enough. Yep, there we go. So that should free up the screen. So there we go. I'm going to keep that bottom screen actually because we know that works. And then we'll just remove the ribbon cable for the top screen. Right, so that is up. There we go. Right, so now it is just a case of trying to get this Wi-Fi antenna out. There we go. So that's out, that's out. So we don't need that anymore. So we've now got that board out. I'm just having a look at everything, make sure everything's in good condition. Yep, I'm quite happy that we're good to go with that. So let's do the same on this board. So I'm going to speed through this because, as I say, we've just gone through putting that. So I'll get this board out and then we will focus on getting the replacement board put in. Okay, so there we go. We've got the second board out now. So as I say, that is probably just going to put that into my parts bin, and then as and when we can, we'll look to get this chip replaced. But yeah, for now, let's get the new board ready to go. Is that? Yep, that's all good. Yep. Right, so let's start off by putting the screen back in. And so once that's in, just push that down. And just make sure as well that the other ribbon cable just up the top here is over the other side of the board. And then, right, so it goes in that way. So we need to put this top screen back on. And the funny part is, actually, we're doing all this. We still don't know whether the screens are actually working. We will find that out imminently. Okay, so that is all that back in. So let's, first off... actually... where did that go? Yep, so we have forgotten about one thing. We have got the other cable for the Wi-Fi. So that is there. I'm going to just get this back over the top of the board. There we go. So that one gets plugged in just at the top here. There we go, that's that one in. And then I want to try and make sure this is done properly. So we are going to feed the other part of the Wi-Fi antenna under here and attempt to sort of get it to come out the other side. There we go. That is actually a lot easier than the last time I tried to do it. So let's make sure it's all routed correctly. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug this ribbon cable in first before plugging that Wi-Fi cable in. And actually, I'm going to remove this first. I'll take that off. Right, so how do I get this in? Right, what I am going to do is, just to save myself from potentially doing any damage to the ribbon cable, I'm just going to get my ceramic tweezers out. Main problem with these is they're actually a lot bigger. But actually that might prove to be beneficial. So let me zoom in. So at least I've got the screen to go by as well. I think that's in. I am really not sure whether that's in or not. I think it's in. It's really difficult to tell. But we'll find out when we come to test, which actually isn't going to be too far off, because once we get these back on and screw the board back in, then we are pretty much done. Right, so there you go, there's the Wi-Fi board back in, so just this one screw to put back in now. And yeah, I think we're done. So let me put the back case on so that we can get the battery on. Right, so need to be careful about how I've routed this. So that was one of the concerns. So the Wi-Fi antenna needs to go this side of that bit of plastic. There we go. So we're all back on. I think we are. Obviously, it won't be completely together because we haven't put any of the screws back in. But let's get our battery, which we know is working. And try and turn it on. No, maybe not, because the power button isn't in place. There we go. And the volume slider. There you go. Okay, so we got that flash, so that signifies to me that that cable isn't back on properly. Normally with the DS's, if you get that flash, it signifies that the screens aren't plugged in. So let's get the back cover off again. So let's get back up to this part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull that off again. I'm actually going to move it just down here for the minute. Yeah, you can tell that that's not in. It's so loose when you were trying to sort of open and close it. Actually, I'm going to remove that screw just so I've got a bit of movement in the boards. There we go. We can get the Wi-Fi cable right the way out. Do you know what? I'm probably going to try. Let's see. Oh God. I'm actually going to try it and do it this way. Probably going to be a damn sight easier. Okay, that seems to be in now. So fingers crossed it is. And then we'll make sure that this plug's completely in. There we go. So let's get this one put back in. No, we won't, because first we need to connect the top screen. And what you're going to do is, on the side of the ribbon cables, there are little tabs that sort of stick out the sides. That's your best way to tell if they are plugged in correctly. So there's all that. And then I need to get this back through. So I'm tempting fate, trying to do this twice in one day. Come on. Oh, there we go. I'll take that as the ultimate win, getting that cable through twice in one day. Okay, so now it's just a case of put the Wi-Fi back on, because if I remember rightly, I don't think it'll actually turn on if these aren't connected up. Right, so that's them. That's the Wi-Fi put back on. Cables are routed right. So just put this screw back in. There we go. And now we can test again. So if I just move all the sliders to where they need to be. And yep, that one's good. Volume one's good. So now it's battery time. And will it be third time lucky? There we go. Both screens are working. And yep, so's the touch. Brilliant. Right, so let's turn that back off. And let's start getting these screws back in. So, I've got the Phillips screw head on. So I'm just going to go through, put all the screws back in, and then we'll get it tested one more time once everything's back together. So, before I put it back together, luckily I only got a couple of screws in before I realised we've got to put the buttons back on. So, let's just pop this back off. Right. So, with the buttons, you've got your spring, really tiny spring, the little pin. So the spring will go in like that, and then that pin will go through the hole here, and it also goes through, so just like that. So you've got the pin, the button, the spring, and the pin, and then what happens is that other arm of the spring fits in these little grooves. Let me zoom in So it fits in these little grooves. Oh, what else am I doing? These little grooves here. So the pin goes in this hole, and then the spring will go in this one. There we go, just like that. So we push the pin down, just push, make sure that the spring is in place. And there you go, just double check that it sort of clicks. And then we'll do exactly the same on this side. So we've got the pin through, so just like that. I'm trying to keep it in shot. There we go. And then before you just press it, yeah, nice click on that one. And now what we can do is we can now put the back cover on. Now that's looking a bit more complete. But it's not sitting quite flush. So something's wrong. So we'll have a look at that before we go any further. So why isn't that sitting flush? Is it the Wi-Fi cable? There you go. Let's try that like that. There we go. That's a lot better. Okay, just try all those bits. So that's all good. Right, now I can get it all back in. Okay, so that is all of the screws put back in. And so get the battery in. Put the battery compartment back on. And need to switch screwdriver heads. There we go. So I'm going to put the blanking plate back in the bottom, the stylus back in the side, even though we'll probably will use it again in a minute. All right, so game cart is in. And there we go. So just going to let Nikki know that I've quickly set this up, and then, well, actually, we'll reset this before we finish up. So that's the date done. I'm just going to leave it as all standard. Yeah. And yes, so it just shuts down. And once it's shut down, restart. So okay, so that's interesting. No cart inserted. Okay. Right, so, well, let's start with the easiest option first. So let's give the cart slot a bit of a clean. Right. So let's try that. There we go. So just a bit of a dirty cart slot. Okay, so we've got sound. Demo. Play demo lesson. Yeah, I'm quite happy now. Brilliant. Right, so let's come out of that. I'm going to just remove the game cart for a minute. And then if we go back in, we will go to... actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do first. No, cancel. I just want to go home. Oh, okay. So let me just give the screens a quick wipe over. And what we're going to do is just want to turn it on quickly. And we've got to get a photo to send over to Nikki to show that we fixed it. Okay, so now I've got that photo. Let's quickly jump in and we'll do a quick reset on it. So I can never remember. No, don't want that one. That's language. Don't want that. No, cancel. How do I remove? Oh, there. Just want to give the screen a bit of a test. Okay, so I'll have a look at. I'll look it up in a little while, and I'll get this all reset before I give it back to Nikki. But yeah, we have successfully fixed this DS. All right, yes, it was a bit of a cheat. We did a full board swap, but yeah, as I say, I just don't have the equipment to do soldering at that sort of level. But as I say, we have now got this all up and running, so I'm going to ping Nikki a message now, and yeah, I'll get this returned to him. So yeah, with that is going to wrap up today's video. But before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.